Oh my god, you guys, I am obsessed with this lighting. Like, this, okay, this is with the ring light, and then this is without it. Wait. Like, the magic these days is insane. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a book review on one of the most recent books that I've read during this quarantine. So if you want to see if this book is worth it to buy, keep on watching. Okay, so before we start this video, I just want to point out the lighting in this video. So if you haven't noticed, I just got a new ring light. I have never had a ring light before. This is my first time actually investing in something for my own YouTube videos, and I can't thank you guys enough, because if it weren't for your positive feedback and inspiration, I wouldn't be motivated to make videos and provide content for you guys. So I just want to thank you, because without you guys I wouldn't be investing in these kinds of things and I wouldn't continue making videos. So I'm just overly excited to have a new equipment for my YouTube videos. That way I can film videos if there's not great lighting, because for example today it is super stormy and rainy outside that there's no sun at all. So if I didn't have this ring light, I wouldn't be making this video. So I just want to quickly thank you guys, because I absolutely am in love with this lighting, and yeah, that's it. Alright, so before we start, make sure you guys have subscribed and click that bell, that way you're always notified and updated whenever I create new cool fun videos. And without any further ado, let's go see if this book is worth it to buy. Alright, so the book that we are going to be reviewing today is Snow Falling by Gloriana Villaneuva. This show was mentioned in one of my favorite series called Jane the Virgin. This show is practically a soap opera on steroids. It's so dramatic, there's so much drama, so many dramatic twists and turns, and new characters coming in and characters dying, and just so many things going on that the show is never like straightforward. It's always bumpy, so like it will definitely keep you entertained. There's always a bunch of romance in it as well, so if you're into love triangles and new character interests, you will definitely love this show, because there are tons of love triangles, and also there's a bunch of comedy in it as well. So if you just like to laugh and stuff, this is definitely a show for you, because I always continue to laugh. The characters are super funny, but also one person that keeps the show completely comedic is the narrator. There is this very funny narrator throughout the whole entire show, and he is definitely very, very funny, and you get to learn his identity at the end of the show. So if you like drama, romance, and comedy all put together, then you will definitely enjoy this show. I watched it on Netflix. I'm not sure where else you can watch it. I'm pretty sure you can watch it on a bunch of different streaming places. I think you should just Google it and check it out. But yeah, definitely watch the show. So the main character in this show, Jane, loves romance novels and novels in general, and she's wanted to become a writer for her whole life, and she finally wrote a love story based on her love interest for half of the show, which I'm not going to spoil. By the way, there are going to be no spoilers in this review. It's just things that I can tell you before you actually read it, because I don't want to spoil it for you. But Jane writes a novel of her love story with someone in the show that you will figure out once you watch the entire show. And yeah, so practically this book is pretty much all about their romance story. So this is Jane, and this is her love interest. So this is how the book looks like. So at the top here it says her name, Gloriana Villaneuva. That is the name of the character in the show. And of course this book was ghost written. This book is as it seems, like it was written by the main character, but really a real author wrote this. It just is put in place as if the main character wrote it. So at the bottom here in the middle we have Jane, and we also have her love interest in a lovey-dovey romantic moment. And then at the side here it says as seen on Jane the Virgin in a tiny pink sticker. And then at the bottom here it says Snow Falling in a really pretty cursive writing that makes the book even more romantic. I also like the side cover, because when I place it in my book collection it just looks very appealing. So of course up here it says as seen on Jane, and then it says here the whole title and the author's last name, well, the author's last name, and the company who published it. So, and then at the back here it has some little information if you wanted to know before you bought the book, or before you even read it. So I'm gonna read it for you. So at the top here, it is a quote from her father in the book commenting on the novel. Then there's a summary of the book, which I'm going to read to you if you're interested to see whether you want to buy the book. And then down here, there are just a bunch of people throughout the show that have commented on the novel as well. And down here, it is a summary of Jane's life. I'm not going to read that to you because there are some spoilers at the back of it if you haven't already watched the show. So I'm not going to read that to you, but I am going to read the summary of the book to you. In 1902 Miami, Josephine Galena Valencia had big dreams. Engaged to her Pinkerton detective Martin Cadan and working at the lavish Regal Sol, her life changes forever. One champagne-fueled night with dashing hotelier rake Solvino. Josephine must decide where her heart lies, even as a dangerous crime lord threatens all she holds dear. Will her dreams dissolve like falling snow or lead to happily ever after? So that is the summary of the book, and if you are interested on buying this book, you can also read the quotes from the people, but I'm not going to read that to you because you should read it by yourself, and I will leave the summary from Jane for you to watch the show first, and then you can read that. So, who would like this book? I think that if you really like romance and love triangles and that kind of thing, like I've mentioned before, you are definitely going to like it. And if you have already watched the show Jane the Virgin, where this book is mentioned. So I wouldn't recommend it if you don't like romance, because basically this book is a romance novel between two people. So if you're not into that kind of thing, you would probably waste your money because you would definitely not like this book if you're not into romance and love. Another thing is, if you haven't watched the show, I wouldn't really recommend it. You still could buy it, but I feel like you would understand it more once you've watched the show, because the show really has a background story on this couple and what they've gone through and all that kind of thing. So for me personally, I watched the whole show. There's 5 seasons and I've watched it on Netflix. I'm sure there's the show on a bunch of other streaming softwares. And once I finished the show, I then bought the book, and I really like having a souvenir and memory of the show that I really enjoy in my book collection. So yes, you can buy the book if you haven't watched the show. I just recommend watching the show first because I feel like it would make more sense to you. Where can I buy the book? So if you want to buy this novel, then you can buy it on Amazon, and you would just have to search up the title and the author's name, and it would come up first thing on the list. And I personally paid $20 Canadian for it. I'm not sure if the price has changed, but that's how much I paid for it. But of course, if you want to make it easier for yourself so you don't have to search all these things up, I will leave the link to the book down in the description. So if you're interested on buying this novel, it is down in the description and it will lead you right to it. So you can buy this novel. So I've pretty much told you all about the book and what it's about and that kind of thing. So now it's for the big question, is it worth it? So I know personally when I'm watching a book review, the only question I want to hear is it worth buying? Should I spend my money on it? Would I like it? Would I want to read it? Or would it just be a complete waste of money and waste of time? And my answer for this book is it depends on what you like. So if you're just a teenager that's looking for some romance novels, then I definitely suggest it because it's literally that. It's a romance novel based on 2 people and it's a very lovey-dovey. So if you're looking for that, there you go. Of course, I think there's an age restriction for this book. I wouldn't really recommend it for people under 12. I mean, if your parents are cool with it, if you like romance and things at the age of 9, go whatever, that's fine. But I do think that for people over 12, I would recommend it. But of course, it's up to you. I'm just saying that maybe your parents wouldn't be okay with it, or maybe you're just not into that stuff at that young of an age. So I would say around 12 and up is a mature age for this book because there are some little inappropriate scenes and it's very lovey-dovey, so maybe your parents wouldn't be okay with it and it's probably inappropriate for a younger age. So 12 and up is who I would suggest it for. Like I said, this is just for someone who really likes romance novels, and I think it is important if you have watched the show. So my rating for this book is a 7 out of 10. I mean, it is definitely not my favorite book. I have way better books in my opinion, but I mean, if you're just looking for a general romance book, then you will definitely like this. And yeah, I rate this book a 7 out of 10. It is normal for me. I'm not overly excited about it, but I definitely think it's worth buying if you're into these kinds of things. So that, you guys, is my book review on the book Snow Falling by Gloriana Villaneuva. I hope you guys decide to buy it. Of course, make sure you've watched the whole entire video before you completely decide to do it. Of course, I will leave the link to the book down in the description, and if you buy the book and read it, let me know what you think of it. Do you think I'm wrong, or do you think I'm completely right, or do you like it even more than I do? Let me know down below. Also, let me know down below if you want to see more book reviews, because I have a very exciting one coming up, and I think you will all love it. Anyways, make sure you guys stay safe and make sure you contribute in the Black Lives Matter movement. Anything helps. Just raising awareness can do so much in the world. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! What do you guys think of my lighting? I think it's pretty sick. Like, let me know, but I think it's great.